With Igor Paixao, the latest name on the chopping block for Leeds United, join me as we delve into how he could fit into Daniel Farke's system. We're also taking a little look at Gus Hamer and Emi Buendia as their links continue to emerge. Leeds United are also in the market potentially for a new fullback, and there's some shocking news about one of our latest signings. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy JT, and welcome back to another episode of South Stand Signings, the series, of course, where we go through everything happening in and around the world of Leeds United, and we sit here together and we have a little talk about what's going on. So let's start off with a little bit of a weird story that came out this evening about Kyle Walker-Peters, who we obviously tried to sign about a year ago. We tried to get Kyle Walker-Peters. There was a whole debacle around it. Obviously, after Southampton's demise, he was on his way elsewhere over to Besiktas until now. Very, very recently, it was announced that he actually failed his medical at Besiktas, opening up links for him to come over to Leeds United. But let's just have a little look at some of these little stataroonies right here and squash this story right in the mud instantly. He's had 33 games last year compared to Bogle's 34. Better tackles, 1. But then when you look at them per 90, Bogle exceeds him in all the stats here. Better in his duels, better cross accuracy, better tackles, 1 per 90 in the Premier League. Better player in the Premier League. But could Kyle Walker-Peters be a potential backup option? I'll be intrigued to know what you guys think. Do you think we need another defender, or are we well stocked enough in the defensive positions? Now, speaking of defenders, bit of a shocking story today coming by way of Graham Smith. This one caught me right off guard. Leeds United have apparently been informed earlier on today, as I'm sure a few of you might know, that Jaka Bijol is actually going to miss our opening game against Everton. Now, that for me isn't too big of a deal. I would have liked him to start the season off with a bang against Everton, but considering the fact that we have enough defensive stability in there, I think we will be okay. But this is just such a bizarre rule. He was sent off in Serie A, and as a result of that, the suspension carries over to the Premier League. I didn't even know that was a thing, so I've been educated on that one. I want to know if that's just me being stupid, or did you guys know about that rule before? But apparently, Leeds United have been informed that we won't be able to get him. Now, a story that you guys, I'm sure, have been researching and deep diving all day, clicking on every single video, article, anything to give you any information about Igor Paixao after he was linked last night to Leeds United. It was reported by Graham Smith himself that Leeds United had made contact with Igor Paixao to try and steal the deal away from Marseille. Zinny Boswell from Sky Sports later came out today and confirmed this, saying that Leeds United were in talks of signing Feyenoord winger Igor Paixão, and one source has told Sky Sports that has been club-to-club contact. Obviously, then Sasha Tavaleri jumped in the mix later on in the day to say Leeds United have fully approved Igor Paixão, viewing him as able to make immediate impact. You're damn right he would make an immediate impact, and for me, is even a bit of an upgrade on Manor Solomon. However, they are hesitant due to the fact that Feyenoord are demanding 30 million euros plus bonuses that are being demanded by Feyenoord, which is prompting internal discussions. Leeds are aware that Feyenoord already rejected a bid from Olympique Marseille, which I'm sure you guys are all aware of. Now, let's have a little deep dive into Igor Paixão, 25 years of age, of course, coming from Brazil. He obviously played for the Brazil under-23 internationals. He can feature left wing, central attacking midfield, and right wing, offering good versatility for Daniel Farke. We've seen him like to shift Nonto into the 10, put him on either wing. So this is a really, really good sign if he is to become a Leeds United player. Now, this season, he's featured 39 times off the left wing, 6 times from the central attacking midfield role, and only 1 time in the right wing role, also playing as a second striker once. Obviously, predominantly coming in as a left winger after the departure of Manor Solomon. Now, his stats overall were relatively decent throughout his entire career. If we just pull out his stats for all seasons here. He played 93 games in the Eredivisie, registering 32 goals and 23 assists. Pretty decent, but you've got to consider that Eredivisie is nowhere near the quality of the Premier League. But you change those stats into this year, and he is looking like one heck of a player. 16 goals and 14 registered assists. That is 30 goals and assists in 34 Eredivisie games. He is someone who definitely has scope to develop. Now, when people think of developing players, they sometimes think of players 19, 18, 20. But when you look at someone like Rafinha, he wasn't, I believe he was about 23, 24 when he signed for Leeds, if memory serves me correct, if I'm not being completely mistaken on that one. And you saw the way that he developed under Bielsa in the Premier League and what he's gone on to do at Barcelona. This could be another Rafinha situation on our hands here. He's also scored twice and registered 5 assists in the Champions League. Now, the assists is something that's very key for me because a number 9 is someone we definitely need to sign. A potent, clinical number 9. Now, we need someone who's very, very creative off the left wing. And when we spoke about the fact that we might be moving to a 4-3-3 formation, the fact that he has the versatility to potentially play in that number 10 role could be very, very important. Because I don't think, unless if he does stick to his formation, which he does now, which would require us to bring in an out-and-out number 10, I do feel like this is leaning towards a 4-3-3 situation, where you could see him potentially be shoehorned into the attacking midfield role, depending on available players. Maybe he's featuring Nonto out on the wide left. So he does have very, very good versatility. Now, let me know what you guys think about these stats. Are these stats a little bit deceiving here? You can see he's featured a lot of full games for Feyenoord. Obviously, he's also featured off the bench. Most of his most impressive goal outputs featuring games that he's played for the entire games, 90 minutes. You look at his last 10 games here in the Champions League. 2 goals, 5 assists, 2 assists against Girona, 2 against Benfica, which is very, very impressive. Benfica are no slouches themselves. Assisting against Manchester City, could do with a good assist against them this year. So his stats are very, very impressive. We're going to have to wait and see how this unfolds under the next couple of days, but it does seem like Leeds are really stepping on the gas in this one, and I can't wait to see what developments could come out tomorrow. Now, it was then later on in the day slightly that you heard some murmurings from Graham Bailey himself talking about the number 10 role, which we were just talking about. Now, the first player he brought into mention was Mr. Gustavo Hamer himself, who apparently Leeds are looking at getting on a relatively cut price deal because of the fact that Sheffield United didn't get promoted. We've been speaking about this all summer, don't get me wrong. It was then later reported by Sacha Devaleri that PSV Eindhoven have registered a concrete interest in Sheffield United midfielder Gustavo Hamer, with negotiations over personal terms also underway as they prepare to make a big offer for Hamer, which for me kind of pushes Leeds United under the table. I don't think we're going to be really trying to muscle off multiple clubs at the same time. We're still trying to muscle off Marseille for Paixao, so I do think that Gustavo Hamer is off the table after seeing this one. But it is still being reported that Brendan Aronson is a player who's likely to leave. The other name that was reported as a severe interest going on for Leeds United is Mr. Emi Buendia, who apparently Daniel Farke, obviously having good experience with him, Buendia in the past, is very, very keen to sign. But the reason I wouldn't be too keen on Buendia, and the reason I'm bringing this up, I know you sat there thinking, James, why are you talking about Emi Buendia, mate? This is an absolute non-starter. We've heard this all before. This is late news, nothing. I just wanted to have a little look at his stats just to kind of squash this in the mud once and for all. I don't think that anyone should be talking about Emi Buendia for this key reason. He's played 129 times on the right wing, 44 times on the left wing, and 88 times in the central attacking midfield role. But when you actually break his stats down to what he's been doing in these positions, he's played 88 games in central attacking midfield role, registering 13 goals and only 10 assists. Now, for me, if we are going to actually stick to the formation we played this year, and we are going to bring in a number 10, we don't need to bring in someone who can play number 10, can play on the wing. We've already got Paixão, who we looked at, who can do that. We've got Nonto, who can, I don't think he's great in the 10 the way a lot of you guys do. I think he's much better on the wing from a personal standpoint. But we don't need to be bringing in someone who's purely versatile across the front three. I think if we are going to stick with that formation, we will bring an attacking midfielder. And mark my words, if we don't bring in an out-and-out number 10 on top of Paixão, if we do get that deal done, we could be really, really, really in the gear for a formation change. And Emi Buendia, for me, is a bit of a non-starter. Right wing, I think we've got more than enough covered with Dan James and Wilfred Gnonto on that side. But let me know what you guys think. Would you still be interested in Buendia? His value is around 15 million euros. I think we'd be able to pick him up for about £10 million, to be honest with you. But for me, a bit of a non-starter. I just wanted to have a little chinwag and get your guys' opinion on that one. Now, let's have a little look at the striking options for Leeds United. Very interesting statistic that was brought out here by Data MB today. If we do just look at this, it is the goals and assists per 90. Sorry, my screen is covering the top three there. The best goals and assists per 90 in the Premier League last year. Isak top with 0.84. Haaland second. Watkins third. And just under my screen here, you can see registering at number 4 is Rodrigo Muniz with 0.63 goals and assists per 90, who is still Leeds United's top target in striker. There hasn't been major updates yet as to whether we are going to actually hit that 40-50 million pound valuation that they're looking at, and especially with the fact that we are spending, well, if we do get the deal done, we would be spending just shy of 30 million pounds on Paixao. Do you see us spending another 40 on Muniz and then more money on a number 10? I don't know. For me, I think the situation is this. We're either going to go really, really big in for a Rodrigo Muniz and not get a number 10 at all. I think we do have to start preparing ourselves for the fact we're not actually going to sign a number 10 today. Or number 10 this transfer window. And we might be looking at shoehorning someone in the 10 and being a little bit more versatile with our formations here. But I did just want to bring up this stat that ran across me because there was a few of you that were, you know, a bit hesitant about the 40-50 million pound price tag for Muniz, but his quality is definitely proven, and he would have very, very good link up with Paixão for obvious reasons. So could be a very exciting one. But with the price tag and with the price we're looking at spending on Paixão, I think we could be looking at a loan option, most likely being our aforementioned Gonzalo Garcia from Real Madrid. Now, a later story that was confirmed today that I did just want to touch on because this is very, very close to my heart. Firpo is officially a Betis player. It hits me in the heart, man. Seeing this absolutely kills me. His wife put out a very, very heartfelt message about his time in Leeds United, about their time as a family, growing and developing, the Christmas markets, the long walks in the parks, which I don't actually know because I'm not from Leeds. But man, this one, I just want to take a minute to a second to just look at this and just think about what could have been. What could have been. Firpo in the Premier League for Leeds United is no longer a reality, man. What a sad story. Speaking of sad stories, Napoli are pursuing Milinkovic-Savic, which we did speak about the other day. Completely old news, but as of today at 1 o'clock, Sky Sports did report that, according to Sky Italy, Napoli are pursuing a move for Torino goalkeeper Vanja Milinkovic-Savic, who had previously stated his desire to stay in Serie A. But we have had a lot to delve into today when it comes to the midfield position, the attacking midfield position, the formational position, how Paixão could fit into the side, whether he's a good signing, whether he's not. I really want to know what you guys think. I did just touch on the goalkeeper situation at the end there, because if we aren't going to go for Milinkovic-Savic, I'm actually very, very intrigued as to who you guys would actually want in that goalkeeper position. I want you guys to throw some names out there because I've been talking about Lucas Perry a lot. Some people have been talking about Milinkovic-Savic. There's obviously, you know, Pope, Ramsdale, all these names that have been flying around the whole transfer window. But I want you guys to let me know who you think you would actually like to see in goal for Leeds United, and whether you would like to pursue someone like Buendia, or if there's any other names you guys would like to see. But let me know what you guys think. It's been amazing to catch up with you guys again. I can't wait to see all of your inputs and information in the comment section down below. I love hearing your guys' information and bouncing back off it. But for now, though, I will see you very, very soon. Au revoir, my brothers and my sisters. Sunday, Creator Cup. Be there or be square. See you later.